Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an awesome new knife consult on a very interesting knife. This is the Jerry Moen and Millit Knives Max Evolution. That's a whole lot of M's coming at you here. But this is a knife that has been talked about throughout 2017. It's been super popular because this has really been the knife that put Millit knives on the big stage. Now, they've been around for a while. They've done some really great knives and some good collaborations. They had a mud knife collaboration with the Hawk brothers a while back. But this was, I felt, sort of their bursting onto the scene moment where they really became very popular for this series of knives in particular, because Jerry Moen is a custom knife maker out of Texas, and he makes some awesome looking knives. This particular knife is based on his model called the Panther. Apparently he gave them a Panther and then they tweaked it a bit and it became this knife. He also had some knives called the Blue Max, and so those sort of fit in with the sort of design philosophy and the Moen design here. And you can see his name written on the back right there with his mountain symbol there. So this is the birthchild of that sort of collaborative effort right there. And they have brought a custom knife down into the mid-tech category. Now, this is one of the mid-tech models. They did a mid-tech line, and then they did sort of a production line. Basically, these are a little bit more customized, and then they released a series of aluminum-handled models. This is a titanium-handled model right here. So let's go ahead and break this knife down anatomically. Let's see what we're looking at here. So up front, we have a 3.825-inch blade of CTS XHP. Now, you'll have to forgive me, it's dancing in the light there. This has a very unique double hollow grind. This is clearly a custom order. This knife did come through Blade Junkie, if I recall. Could be wrong about that. In any case, it came through one of the dealers, and it's really beautiful. I love that grind. While it's not really the most functional of grinds, because it leaves really the area behind the edge a little bit thicker for some unknown reason, I would have, personally, if I was ordering this, would have ordered this with a full hollow grind. I think that would have been spectacular here. But notice also that there is DLC on the top of the blade here, and the blade is crowned. There's a little bit of jimping there. Got a couple of subtle logos. You've got the Millit logo there. You've got the Moen logo there. I'm a little bit upset that there's no steel designation on here. It's a thing of pride to really put the steel designation on these higher-end knives. I always like to see that, but it's not on this knife. It's done in a beautiful satin finish. I really, really like that. They've done a good job. You know that the flats are done by hand. These guys at Millit are very professional. Moving back, it has a ball bearing pivot. It is rather smooth. It's nice. It's got a chunky sort of stylized pivot right here itself. And it is a flipper deployment only. Now, this is a little point of contention. This flipper tab is a little bit bigger and pointier maybe than it needs to be. It definitely provides a nice push button deployment there. The blade really fires out. You can light switch it as well if you want to. It's just a little bit long. I think they could have done it maybe a little bit smaller and maybe a little bit more sleek. It kind of messes up the lines of this knife to me a little bit. Looks a little silly just dangling out there. I hesitate to use the word pocket pecker because I've never really had a problem with flipper tabs specking on stuff, but you know, it's kind of unsightly in terms of the rest of this knife and how beautiful it is. I'm not going to lie. So moving back to maybe the most beautiful part of this knife, it is the handles here. It is a black Cerakoted handle. Then it was remilled with this outline in silver. I guess that's just regular titanium. And then they added these marbled carbon fiber inlays. Now, it's interesting to me, this was a sort of higher end model. This knife probably cost somewhere in the $800 range. I'm just looking at the inlay, and I just have to say that I've seen better. I can see the glue right there. You know, the spacing with regards to that silver line are rather inconsistent. And then up here, it's just kind of weird, a little sloppy. I don't know if it's sloppy just in here, you know, a little bit irregular. Sorry, I hit the camera. So that's a little bit disappointing, and I'm not going to lie. Another small disappointment is that there's a little bit of lock stick. Listen to this. Yep. Actually, a pretty good amount. Yep. Which is interesting to me because it is a subframe lock in steel, not in titanium. So they've got that subframe lock in there. And so it's supposed to be steel on steel, but a lot of frame lock. And it's steel on steel. I've tried cleaning that off. I've tried putting some pencil on there. Just not helping anything. It's not changing. So there is lock stick on this. And that's a little bit surprising at this price point. This is really touted to be pretty much a custom knife. It's got a carbon fiber backspacer. That's pretty neat. Actually, I think that's the first time I'm actually recognizing that. I thought it was titanium until now, but looking at it in the light, that's carbon fiber. So that's a nice touch. Gotta love carbon fiber. This knife certainly reminds me of another big knife in my current collection. That's the 606 Black right here with the carbon fiber insert. I'll just say that this ZT carbon fiber insert, better done. Just a little bit better done. Kind of disappointing on that one, I'm not going to lie. So you've got this. This is a 4-inch blade here. Here's a 3.5-inch blade and a similar finish here. Got all my black knives going on out here. I'll bring out a couple of other blades for a comparison. I've got a 0055, a 3.75-inch blade, just a little bit shorter in overall length. Here's a Koenig Arius. That's in 3.5-inch blade right there. Here's another sort of Warncliffe style blade. We've got a Hinderer MP1. Interesting knife there. And then how about a little knife? We got a Kaiser Feist. Another little knife. We got a Chris Reeves small Sabenza. So you can kind of see the size here. I know my perspective is funny, but you know, I don't mind it right now. I'll get that tripod one of these days. In any case, this is a very interesting knife. I had very high expectations for this knife. This knife really put Millit knives on the map. It really established them as an excellent knife maker, and a lot of people were in love with their knives that they received, but I'm not going to lie. I'm rather disappointed with this. I think that the blade grind is beautiful, albeit kind of non-useful. This is definitely just for the collector. This is not an EDC style knife. It's very big, it's very intimidating, it's got a kind of ridiculous grind. It's not ideal for all cutting tasks. And it's very stylized. But then you add to it that it's got kind of a silly flipper, no forward finger choil. It's got lock stick from a subframe lock that's supposed to be in metal. And these carbon fiber inserts are not really as lined up as they should be. Huh. Well, my opinion is not very strong on this knife, and I'm not going to lie. Now, I've seen other ones that are done maybe a little bit more cleanly, so don't take my opinion of this particular knife as a representation of what they are all like. But from the action, you know, it's not ultra smooth. It's really not. To the aesthetic, to the other issues that I've discussed, I just have to say I'm a bit disappointed by this knife. Now, Millit Knives has a lot of other models coming out. I'm sure that even most of the other Max Evolutions maybe were better than this one, but just not super happy with this knife. I would not recommend this knife based on the model that I'm holding right now. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this knife in the comments down below. Click like and subscribe to my channel. Head over to Instagram and follow me at Dr. Frunkey. Go and follow my buddy Nico on Instagram at today'sgrail_tomorrow's_beater, and check out the new work that's coming out of Millit Knives and see what they're doing with their work. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, this is Dr. Frunkey saying, take care.